Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about James McAvoy. This week's video is a bit different. I decided to kind of start a new series. There's a bunch of actors and directors that I love, and sometimes I don't get to talk about some of their best movies. So I decided to create this series. This is probably like really basic, but I decided to start this series where I give you my top 5 best movies or TV shows or both of actors and directors that I love. And I asked you guys on Twitter which person would you want to be the first one, and most of you said James McAvoy, which I was really happy about because not only it was his birthday like last week, so it was nice to put out this video, but also because I really like him, and I've been planning on watching a bunch of his movies, and I didn't get to all of them, but I've watched a lot. And yeah, that I really like him, and that I have a vlog here where I met him, so I leave it up here. But yeah, I've rambled enough, so let's talk about my favorite, the ones that I consider the best movies of James McAvoy. I'm actually going to start with an honorable mention because this isn't part of my top 5 movies of his, but I still think this is a really good movie, one that he is really great in and that I don't see a lot of people talk about, and I'm talking about TRANCE from 2013, directed by Danny Boyle. This movie is about a hypnotherapist that helps a gang locate a painting that just vanished in the middle of a heist. I'm not going to say a lot more about this movie because I think this is one that you should go in kind of blind without knowing much of it, so I think this summary is enough. The movie is so surprising. It has a couple of plot twists, and yeah, I'm not going to say much, but yeah, it's one that is not on my top 5, but I still think you should definitely watch it because I think it's underrated and James McAvoy's performance is pretty good. Now onto my actual top 5. I'm going to start with one that it's kind of basic, and I've watched it actually just last night because I never watched it, but it definitely became one of my favorites. And I'm talking about ATONEMENT from 2007, directed by Joe Wright. The movie wasn't really what I was expecting, but I'm going to say that it's basically about betrayal, love, and war. So another one that I think you should go in blind, kind of blind. I knew it was a romance, but it was not a romance the way that I thought it was. Still, it was pretty good. The story isn't like the most original, but it's put in a way that it's like really emotional, and just it's one of those movies that makes you feel a lot of feelings, that you definitely feel everything. And besides that, the cinematography is so beautiful, like really stunning, like almost looks like a painting. The score is so unique because they used some basic sounds and turned them into kind of a score, into soundtrack, which I wasn't expecting, and I really liked that. Although I must say that the structure is kind of weird. Sometimes it's difficult to understand what is happening because they go back and forth with some stuff. So yeah, but I really liked it, and it's definitely one that makes you cry. My number 4 is one that I feel like people really like it, but it's not the first one that comes to your mind when talking about James McAvoy, and I'm talking about Atomic Blonde from 2017, directed by David Leitch. And in this movie, an undercover agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent. Again, there's way more to this movie, but I'm trying to keep it vague because I think the magic is in watching it and realizing stuff. Like, I don't want spoilers. I like to go in blind for most movies. So yeah, I actually watched this movie twice. First time that I watched it, I wasn't a big fan. I don't know, I liked it, but I didn't appreciate it enough. But second time around, I loved it. Again, the cinematography is stunning. I love all the neon vibes that it has. So good. The action parts are really spot on. And this movie also has Charlize Theron, which I think she's definitely so good. And yeah, again, another amazing performance by James McAvoy, but again, this whole list is about him, so he's great in all these movies. My third movie is one that I love so much. These movies really caught me by surprise because I wasn't expecting it to be this good and this like emotional, and definitely one of my favorite James McAvoy's performances. Is so good in this movie, and the story is so like real and good, and it is put in a really amazing way. And I'm talking about The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, the hymn version from 2013, directed by Ned Benson. There's 3 parts to this movie: the him version, which his point of view, the her version, which is the female point of view, and the girl here is played by Jessica Chastain, so it's great as well. And the them part, which is the more generic version. I would say the them part is the weakest of the 3, and my favorite is definitely the him version. And if you do want to watch the 3, I would say him, her, and them. You don't really need to watch them, to be honest, but after watching him, you definitely need to watch her because there's some stuff left undiscovered. But basically, this movie is about a couple that is trying to get back to their life and the love that they had once. Again, pretty vague because there's something here that I really wasn't expecting, and I want to be a surprise for you as well. As I said, this movie is so heartbreaking. James' performances is like so emotional, and I loved him in this movie. And such an underrated movie because I never see anyone talk about it, and it's so good. It's like one of the best. If you only want to watch one movie from this list, I would say this one, because this one is quite something. My second one, it's no surprise to anyone, to be honest. If you follow me on my social media, if you've watched some of my videos before, you know that I'm such a huge fan of this story of this. It's not really a franchise, but yeah, I'm such a fan of this story. And yeah, I'm talking about It Chapter 2 from 2019, directed by Andy Muschietti. I think I don't really need to explain what it is about, but yeah, I'm going to say in case you don't know. So after It Chapter 1, in It Chapter 2, the Losers Club go back to Derry, where they have to face Pennywise again. It's pretty basic, and I'm sure all of you have watched it, or at least you know about it, and maybe you don't really like it that much, but I did. I've watched it 3 times now, 2 in the cinemas, and yeah, I just love the book, I love the story, and it had to be in my top James McAvoy movies. It's not his like best performance, but it's one of my favorite movies, so it had to be in this list and in second place. My first place is definitely James McAvoy's best performance ever, in my opinion. And again, it's not really a surprise, I think, but I'm talking about Split from 2016, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, again, I think it's another one that most of you have already seen it and know what it is about, but in case you don't, this is about a guy that has DID and he kidnapped 3 teenage girls and is basically just waiting for his 24th personality to emerge and deal with the girls. The first time I watched it, it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting what it turned out to be, but I was really happily surprised, and ever since then I've been fascinated with James McAvoy and with what he is able to do. Like, he plays, I think in this first movie he plays 8 different characters, and then in Glass he plays all of them, I think. And it's just amazing. He does an amazing job at becoming different people, like man, woman, kids. Yeah, it's mind-blowing. You definitely need to watch this if you haven't yet. I've watched it 4 times. I'm always up to watching it. I never get tired of it. And to be honest, I always get the urge to watch this movie. Like, it's so good. And M. Night Shyamalan is a really good director. Like, his shots are really good. The score is amazing. I love the soundtrack of this movie. And yeah, besides the basic premise, it has a really deep meaning, and I love how it has really well developed characters. And yeah, it's just a freaking amazing movie with a freaking amazing performance by James McAvoy. And yeah, please watch this movie and The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. Those 2 are my favorite James McAvoy's performances. They are completely different types of movies, different performances from him, so it really shows how good of an actor he is. So yeah guys, this is my top 5-ish movies from James McAvoy. This is my favorite ones that I've seen. I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen a lot. And I hope you like this series. I'm planning on doing these type of videos once a month. So let me know in the comments who is the next actor you want to see me talk about his movies, actor or actress or director. I'm up for directors as well. And yeah, let me know which is your favorite James McAvoy movie. I would love to know that, so let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!